Hi, my name is David Robson, and I'm a playwright. Before I was a writer, I was a reader, and so as a kid, I was really inspired by all the books my grandfather had in his room. And so I'd read a lot, and I'd listen a lot to the stories that he told, and as I got older, I became more interested. In high school, I was on the literary magazine as a writer and an editor, and so it was always in the back of my mind that I didn't just want to read, but I wanted to write as well. And so when I first started writing, I thought I'd be a poet. The first play I ever wrote was called Thicker Than Water, and it was my first attempt at a play because I'd been going to see plays for a long time. And Thicker Than Water was really about my father and about his earlier life before I knew him and his struggles as a young man. Thicker Than Water was never produced. It was really never completed. I sent a part of it to a producer in Philadelphia to tell me if he thought I could do this, and he wrote back a very kind and supportive letter, and it kept me going. My first produced play was called Death of America, and it was about two friends, a comedy about two friends in a restaurant, and hijinks ensue, and it was first produced by City Theater Company. City Theater Company, I became involved with City Theater Company really because my wife became involved in City Theater Company. She did the first play that City Theater ever produced, a short play by a playwright named Maria Irene Fornes, and she performed in it with a young Carrie Christine McElroy. Because my wife was involved, I guess I was always snooping around, or I would drive her to rehearsal. And so I was curious about this new theater company, and I wondered, I wonder if I could write something that they would perform. And so I got to know the original members and the founders of City Theater Company, John Cooper, Michael Gray, and Tom Shade. And they were very friendly and very kind and very welcoming. And, you know, we were all very young, and it was just really fun to be involved in theater. I'd been involved in theater in high school, and it was fun to do it again with this group of people. My professional inspirations are many. I'd say in my top few, Ingmar Bergman, Swedish writer and director. I'd say Andrei Tarkovsky, a Russian writer and director. Also, Edward Albee, who passed away a couple years ago, man I got a chance to meet a couple of times, is no doubt an inspiration. My first personal inspiration is probably my mom, because she's the one who started taking me to see theater. And then in high school I got involved in theater, and then eventually I started writing for the theater. I had a teacher in high school. His name was Joe Perrott, recently passed away from COVID-19, who was a great inspiration. He was very passionate and enthusiastic about literature generally, and really made me want to be a part of it. My grandfather was also both a mentor and an inspiration. And finally, a teacher in high school, his name was Ron Cox, and he lives still in Connecticut. And he was a music teacher, and he directed me in one of my first musicals when I was in high school called Godspell. And he made me feel important. He made me feel like I was of value. And for that and other reasons, he was a great inspiration. The arts are really important in Wilmington. I've lived here for 30 years now, and it's just an exciting place to be. It always has to some degree. And for me as an artist, to be a part of that, culture is so important. We live in such a diverse and wonderful city that finally the rest of the nation is starting to learn more about because of our president. And to be a part of that, to be able to have a play done in the city and then to have it go somewhere else, or to write about the city, to be inspired by the city, is something I feel very lucky about. And, I'm a native Philadelphian, and I didn't know what it was going to be like when I came to Wilmington chasing romance and my love of the woman I married. But I am very proud to be a Wilmingtonian because of the wonderful arts here. And the fact that I get to be a small part of that is really an exciting thing. In terms of advice for new writers, one thing I would suggest is, it sounds obvious, write. You have to be inspired by something. You have to feel passionate about something. You have to be curious about something. To have to get up and write and put words together and then to share them with other people is a daunting task. It's a little bit scary. And one of the things I've found is I have to go with what interests me. I have to follow where my curiosity takes me. And I have to satisfy myself as a writer. Yeah, it's about other people. Of course, as a writer of plays, I'm going to be sharing my work, I hope, with others, with audiences. But I first have to satisfy myself, and I have to first find inspiration. And inspiration can be found just about anywhere. But follow that inspiration and trust that inspiration. Trust that it's going to lead you somewhere really valuable and really intriguing.